Guys, look what I just found. I just want to try out full speed, guys. Hang on a minute, let me just sort that out. There we go. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Hello everybody and welcome back to episode 10 of my Stormworks career mode let's play. I can't believe it, guys, but we have got to episode 10. It just seems amazing to me, but thank you so much for your support. You guys have just been incredible. So first of all, we've got a brand new mission to do, and that should be interesting. But as you'll see, I'm sitting on the new boat right now, and this room has been upgraded, guys, but also I've upgraded quite a few different areas. So later on in the video, I'm going to take you guys on a tour and just show you the improvements that I've made. And also, I've got a lot of plans, guys. I'm actually wanting to build a new boat. I'm always thinking of trying to build new boats and things, but one of those is coming up, so I'm going to discuss that while we are on the way to the next mission. But if we look out the window, guys, it's very choppy out there, and yeah, visibility is quite low, so it's not going to be you know, too challenging, but we will have to be careful. We're going to keep an eye on the map, and we're going to keep an eye on our immediate surroundings as well, just to make sure we don't crash into anything or miss any crates as well. We've got to keep an eye out for crates, of course. So let's get out there onto the water, guys, head towards our mission and talk about the plans I have. Right then, here we are. It's mid-morning at the moment, guys, and as you can see on the screen there, we are going towards a Submariner. Now, this Submariner is on the sea floor in their submarine, and the air is running out, so they haven't got very long left to survive. We're going to go and rescue them. We're going to need our diving gear, which is just back there, of course, as we put it on in the last episode. So we're going to have to use that, swim down, bring the Submariner back up to the surface onto the boat, and then take them over to the hospital here. So it's about 10 kilometers in this direction. And then it's probably going to be about 5 kilometers to hospital, and then another 5 or so to get back to base again. So that's the mission we're doing right now. Now here is the information for the mission here. So we have about 55 minutes to do it, and it says the research base have reported a distress call from their manned submarine, which has encountered equipment failure and come to rest on the seabed. Locate and rescue the Submariner to the hospital before the air runs out in the submarine. Now, yes, we should be going pretty quickly towards that. However, it's very choppy, and I can go faster. I'll speed up in a minute, but we do have to be careful when it's choppy. If we end up upside down, that's not only me dead, but also that Submariner over there, so we're going to have to be careful. But I can probably speed up to around, I don't know, 20 knots or something. 15 to 20 knots, probably be alright. There we go. Okay, now also, guys, I'm already thinking about what I can replace this boat with. I'm already planning a brand new boat. A smaller search and rescue or quick response boat is what I'm aiming for, and it's going to be a little bit bigger than this one. It's probably going to have a small interior as well, and you know, I just want it to be a bit more serious looking than this one here. I love this boat very much, but you know, it may not be the last time that we use this one or upgrade it, but I do want to build a bit more of a serious smaller boat as well. It should be faster, it should have more features, and you know, the research that we're about to do soon is going to be very, very useful for this next boat that we're going to work on, and I'm actually going to start building that boat in the next episode. So let's talk about now about how we're going to prepare for it. Well, first of all, I want to have at least one medium engine in that boat. Now, I don't have the medium engine unlocked yet because it's an aircraft engine, and I haven't researched any aircraft parts yet. So we're going to get onto that very soon. If we go into the research panel right now, we can see that I'm currently working on sensors actually. That's going to be very useful because we get the linear speed sensor, distance, and all the tilt sensor, all kinds of good stuff there. And then from that we can actually get the laser distance sensors, which read a much larger distance and range, so that's very useful. Also, guys, we have the brand new emergency beacon and emergency beacon locator there, which is quite interesting. We probably won't have a use for that, you know, at the moment, but I think in the next major update for the game, these could be very, very handy indeed. So they're quite cool to have, and I might stick them on somehow on the new boat in preparation for that new update. But when that's finished, which is only 7 minutes away, I'm going to then research helicopters, okay? Because we get this control surface small here, and that's going to be very useful to use as our rudders on the big boat, so that would be good in itself. And also, of course, we'll probably end up building a plane and a helicopter later on anyway. But from this, we can then go into planes, and we're going to get the medium engine, which I'm going to install at least one, maybe two of those in the next boat. And we'll also get, you know, the parachute and the wings. Now the wings I also need, guys. This is very important because I'm trying to save weight on the big boat. As you'll see later, I'll explain how I'm going to save weight and why the wing is going to be better than using wedges and all bits and pieces like that, okay? So we'll discuss that later, but that's going to be very useful, that. And then, of course, we can get from there jets and all sorts of crazy things, which we don't need just yet, but I'm sure we will get round to using them. And there was something else we could use there as well. What was that? Heavy aircraft. Now, yes, we won't need any of this just yet. A vehicle parachute could be interesting. But, yes, that'll be for the future, I suppose. But anyway, that's what we're going to do next. Helicopters and then planes. We already have enough research points for those. So it's going to cost us 15 for helicopters and then another 20 for planes as well. So that's 35 and we have 51. Plus we're going to get a few more for this mission we're about to do now. And if we're lucky, we'll find some crates as well. And there'll be nothing to worry about in terms of points that we need. So now we're about 6.5 kilometers away from the Submariner. And yeah, I'll bring you guys back then. It's very choppy, isn't it? But it's okay. I think we'll be fine if we're careful. I'll bring you guys back in if anything interesting happens, or of course when we get over to our Submariner to rescue. Now that's the sort of thing we have to be careful of, guys. This small cluster of rocks here, and there's actually a jetty on there and some kind of building. I'm not quite sure where this is, but on the map you can see it's a very small area. I really don't know what's here, but I'd like to go and check that out at some point actually. But that's what we have to be careful of, because visibility is not great, and although we can see that from, let's say, 200 meters away, if you are just not concentrating like I did in the last episode when I crashed into something, yeah, that could be very lethal. So it's worth bearing that in mind, guys, if it's like this out in the sea. Okay, there it is. The Submariner is just below us, about 75 meters below, I think. It's quite hard to see that through the boat. Okay, so let's get the diving gear on then, guys, and we're not going to waste any time here. Just put the clutch in. Now, I do have sharks turned on, of course. That could cause problems, but I think we'll be okay if we're very quick. If we take too long in the water, then yes, that is going to be very, very difficult for us. There we go. Right. So I'm hoping you can see that, guys, but it should be a bit clearer when we get down there, and my flashlight is on. Now, I believe what's going to happen then, if we just have a look through the glass here, there's the Submariner, okay? Now, when we open that hatch, I think the water is going to start pouring in, so then we have to be very quick. And it looks like, if we just have a look through here, there's no ladder, which means that probably we're going to have to wait for it to fill up with water before we can get out of the thing, which is a bit worrying. But yeah, let's open the button, or let's open the hatch here and just do the best we can. 3, 2, 1, go! Right, we're in. We're in. Pick up the person. Okay, get under the hatch. There's the water. It's filling up very quickly. It's hard to see. I think, yep, we're okay. We're okay. We've got them. We've got them. Alright, we're just, I know it's hard to see, guys, sorry about that, but we are now surfacing. There we are. That's a big jump. And I think, there we go, we've got our Submariner. So, okay, quick, aim for the ladder. I don't know if their health is depleting. There we go. Let's have a look at them here. Oh, full health. That's alright then. I mean, yeah, I don't think they were injured, were they? They were just running out of air, so they should be fine. Now, actually, guys, it'd be quite cool to salvage that submarine down there, wouldn't it? Let me just get going here. We don't run out of time. Okay, there we are. We'll spin around and get off into the right direction. 7 kilometers to hospital. No problem for us. We have loads of time, actually, guys. There's nothing to worry about here. So yeah, as I was saying, it'd be quite interesting to actually, you know, pick up that submarine, take it home, put it in the workbench, and not only just for the blocks, but it'd be quite interesting to see, you know, how it's made, and also maybe we could convert it and use it somehow. I'd be quite interested in doing that. Now, at the moment, I don't have the right boat to lift it out the water. I'd have to use my big boat. But as you'll see with the upgrades I've done, it's more capable than ever of doing that sort of job, even with heavier loads now. So yeah, so if we get this mission again at some point, which we probably will, I'll take the big boat and we'll actually lift up the sub, put it on the deck and then take it home. But there's 6 kilometers to go right now, and if we have a look at the research, there's half an hour left for helicopters, then we'll get straight onto planes, guys, and that should be done by the end of this episode, hopefully. So I'll bring you guys back in when we are at the hospital, ready to hand in our Submariner here. Okay, look what I found, guys. Another crate. That is very lucky in these conditions, I have to say. So let's go and get it, of course. And yes, I can't actually believe we found one of those with this visibility. But anyway, I'm going to cut the engines here because it's just a bit choppy and I want to be careful. We still have our diving gear on. I'm going to take that off in a minute, actually, because it does make the screen a bit darker. So, what do we get then? Nice! DPS sensor, 6 points and nearly 4,000. Okay, good, 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 good. So let's take off that diving gear. That's better. Now we can see. And we're almost there, actually, guys. And it's under 1 kilometre to go. Okay, we've made it to the hospital, guys. And I'm just going to take this jetty here. I don't know which one that is, but it doesn't matter, really. It's not far to go from that jetty. And because it's so choppy, yeah, I'm going to just leave the boat a good way off that. Probably even further than this, actually. Let's just cut the engine here. That is good. We do have to be so careful. Right. We've got our NPC. Let's go swimming and find out what our reward is. I'm having difficulty staying above water because I'm crouched. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm still crouched. I was crouched in the water and that was causing problems. Hang on a minute, let me just sort that out. There we go. Okay. That is brilliant. How did that happen? Oh, that was so... I've never seen that happen before. Have you guys seen that before? I was essentially controlling 2 people at once. Fantastic. Anyway, what do we get for our mission then? It's getting a bit crowded in here, isn't it? 9 points. 2 double-sided... Oh no, 10 double-sided buttons. I need those. And nearly $11,000 as well. Good, now let's head back to base, guys. No doubt soon our research will be done, actually. Let's just take a quick look at that. 15 minutes to go. Okay, so when we get home, we'll be ready to start researching the next set of components to build with, and that's going to be very useful indeed. Alright guys, so we're heading home now, which is only 5 kilometers away. We've used about 500 litres of diesel on this whole trip, which is really, really good. And when we get back, I'm going to show you all the upgrades that I've made to the brand new boat, as well as hopefully starting research on planes after helicopters is done. I just want to try out full speed, guys, just as a test, because I can't really remember how fast this thing goes. But hopefully it won't matter too much in these waves here. Let's just find out what we get. 58 knots, 60 knots I think there. Yep, over 60 knots. Not bad, right? It's fairly quick, isn't it, really? I'm quite impressed with that. Of course, we do have to watch our temperatures here because we're jumping out the water quite high. And we are using water cooling. But I'm very pleased with that. Oh no! And we're back home. Oh, that was close. Okay. Alright guys, so we're just reversing back into the dock now. Luckily we didn't crash. And yeah, we'll go and discuss all the upgrades I've made to the next boat. I have to say, I quite like how the new indicators are looking there. And there we go, helicopter research has just completed. So let's go and start the next thing, which is planes. 20 points, an hour and 50 minutes. Now that does take quite a long time actually. But that will be very valuable research for us. So of course it's going to be the medium engine just here. And also the wing front section small there. That's going to come in very handy with our big ship. And speaking of the big ship, let's go and have a look at all the new upgrades that I've made. Okay, here she is then guys, and first of all, I've actually made an upgrade to this crane here. So what I did, I've done a couple of things. I actually increased the size of the crane by 3 blocks. Okay, so that is not a very visible change from here, but it is 3 blocks higher, and that's going to just give us a bit more help when we're lifting up larger objects out of the water and onto the deck. But the biggest change I've made, I'll just show you now. If we go into our control station, and we'll raise it up to about halfway, so it's just vertical, more or less. There we go, that's pretty much vertical there. So it is a bit higher than it was just like that already. But what we can do now is extend it using tracks, because we unlocked them on the previous episode there. And it goes really quite high. There we go, still extending. I'll get a better view of that here. There we are, it's almost at the top. There we go. Okay, so it's fully extended now, and that should be plenty big enough to lift the anchor out the water, or the drone again, or whatever else we're doing with this in the future. Of course, we're probably going to be using this in the Arctic eventually. I do plan on going there, of course, and doing all the missions out there as well. But there's also a lot more down here that we haven't done as well, so we'll use it for many, many things, I'm sure. But now we can fold that back down again, so we'll just reduce the extension there. And what's that? That's my spotlight control, which I believe I probably showed you last time. And everything else is the same at the moment. It doesn't extend very fast, but it's on a very high gear ratio, which just makes it a bit stronger, I believe. So that's fine. I don't mind if it's not too quick. And then we just fold it back down here with this lever. There we go. Perfect. Onto the deck. Very, very good. Okay. Now, next, we are going to head inside here and have a look. Well, you saw this at the beginning of the episode, of course. But here's the light switch, which we'll definitely need. I may have a separate button for each room in a minute. But this is what I've done so far, guys. I've got a table here and some some sort of benches or chairs or whatever. Oh, and I'm stuck. Yeah, I got stuck on my own table. Now this pipe here is actually for the fluid cannon. It's the pipe where the water will travel through up and then out of the cannon. But I've also used it as a support for the table. Now on larger sailing boats or yachts, for example, you do actually have a large bar going down here, which is normally an extension of the mast, and that will actually come through the boat and secure itself somewhere down under the floor, or maybe attached to the keel somehow. And they are often used actually as sort of table supports as well. So that's quite interesting, and I just thought I'd do a similar thing here. I mean, I don't know if work boats do that with water pipes or anything other than masts, but I've done it with this anyway. I thought it was quite interesting. And it just adds a bit to the room as well. I mean, I didn't really want to route it through that wall at the front there, just because that's where the ladder is, and it wouldn't quite work. I've got lights there and everything. I'd have to move things around. So I thought, why not just have it straight through and use it as a table support as well. Over here we have a small surface, maybe for preparing food and things like that, and a couple of appliances. I'm going to use paintable blocks here and hopefully make some kind of appliance out of each of these things, but that will come in the future. There's a clock there as well. But down below, guys, I've got another big change, and that is quite interesting, I think, and it is something that I mentioned a while back when I was building this boat. But let's go and have a look at what I've done down here. So I've made that passageway through here, which I mentioned, I think, a couple of episodes ago, something like that. Anyway, got a big opening here. And this room here may be used for something in the future, but for now it's just a room or a passageway through. And then in here, we have quarters, crew quarters and things like that, okay? So at the moment, of course, it's not made up. I've just got a bed and a medical bed. But the idea is to have maybe a couple of cabins and then an actual medical cabin here right at the front of this room. Now this floor here, right, I've made out of wedges, which is, if I move around here, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'm bumping up and down and I'm going very slowly on this surface, and that's because it's all made out of wedges underneath to save weight. But it's very irritating. So that's one of the reasons why I'm very excited about researching planes right now, is because then we can have the wing, we can use the wing block, right, instead, and that is super light. So the wing actually weighs 5, okay, it has a weight of 5, and using that in cubes would be 21, and using it in wedges of the same area, covering the same area with wedges, would be half of that, so 10.5 mass. But the wing is 5. That's a very good block to use, and that's what I'm going to be doing. It's also, of course, just completely flat, so we wouldn't have all this bumping about, and it'd be super light. So I'm going to go into the workbench now and just show you what it actually looks like down below, and then, of course, it will change. It will improve soon when I've unlocked that wing block. Right, so here we are in the workbench, and as you can see, the whole thing here is made out of wedges. Here is the flooring that we were just walking on here, just right above us. And yeah, all wedges here. And it's very, very irritating to walk across that, as you can see. I can't wait to, to get rid of this stuff and use the wing blocks instead. I've also done a little bit of weight saving down here because it became very heavy at the bow when we built this room. So yes, I've actually changed a few of these blocks here into wedges as well, and again I might use the wing block down here. It depends, because these wedges, although they are a bit heavier, they do of course increase a bit of buoyancy there, as they give us a bit more volume inside the hull. So I don't know what would be better, saving weight or buoyancy, and also it depends on where you're doing this as well. Like for example, up here, I've actually done wedges inside our funnel as well. And because we're not walking on this, it doesn't matter. We can use wedges. It's fine. But these are still weighing double the amount as the wings there. So yes, I'll probably change these to wings as well. And because these wedges are far higher up, they're going to make a much bigger difference in terms of center of mass. If we want to get that center of mass really low, it'd be much better to use the lightest possible blocks up here. So yes, I'll probably use wings, and hopefully that's going to work really well. Guys, look what I just found. The Tow the Tanker mission. That's exactly what we wanted. That's one of the reasons we built our big boat. So in the next episode, guys, we are going to do the Tow the Tanker mission, and we're going to start building the next boat as well, which should be really interesting. And of course, we're going to upgrade the big red boat as well. And I haven't got a name for it yet, so I'm just going to call it the big boat or the big red boat. I don't know. We'll come up with a name for it, I'm sure. So all of that is to come, guys. I'm pretty excited about that. But that is the end of episode 10, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment if you enjoyed the video. But otherwise, thank you so much. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.